Hey guys, and welcome back to Crochet College. My name is Mia, and today we are going to be looking into this Lion brand re-up yarn. I purchased a bunch of this yarn because I have a craft show coming up and I wanted to be able to advertise the recycled yarns. So re-up was one of the ones that is still relatively new, and it is made with 100% recycled cotton. So I was gravitated towards the fact that this is a cotton product completely, because I could use it for making pot holders or any other item that might be exposed to heat. So let's look into some of the specs on this yarn. It is a medium 4 weight yarn, and to create a 4" by 4" square, they recommend a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. With that crochet hook, you should be doing 15 stitches by 16 rows to hit that gauge. Overall, this yarn says it is machine washable and dryable, and it recommends that you can use a warm water wash. It doesn't want you to bleach it or iron it. And then it does have this little P here. So that little P is usually saying that they recommend you use a professional dry cleaning service. They probably recommend that because they don't want the cotton to shrink. So if you go with a professional service, you're less likely to have that shrinkage. At least that's my guess. So this is the color Aqua. For $5 roughly on their website, I was able to purchase this 2.5 ounce skein, which is pretty standard for 100% cotton yarn. Honestly, the texture and the feel reminds me a lot of Lily's Sugar and Cream yarn. However, this is definitely a little bit thinner. So that's something that I'm going to have to consider when I'm using this product, because normally with my cottons, I tend to do a bit of a smaller crochet hook to make a nice stitch definition that I really enjoy. But without further ado, I am going to work up a recommended hook sized swatch of this product. Alright, so I worked up this swatch, and I have to say, granted there's always tension and other factors that contribute to a gauge size, and that's always why it's important you check your gauge. But I followed their 5.5 recommendation, 15 stitches and 16 rows, and I mean, even if I scrunched this thing together, it is not getting to that 4" mark. It is a square. Once stretched, it is a square, so they've got that right. So it must be partially due to tension. Like always, every crocheter is a little different, but this recommendation does seem very off. I would have to have a lot of tension on there, or they're already accounting for the shrinkage that's going to occur after you wash and dry it. Either way, I am not achieving that 4" swatch. I have more of a 5 1/4, 5.5" situation going on here. That aside, I do think this yarn has some pros and some cons. One thing is that it is cotton, but it's not a soft cotton. So it does have that Lily's Sugar and Cream is the best way I can compare it feel. It's a little bit rough. I don't know that I would enjoy wearing a shirt made of this yarn. But I will say that it does have a nice rustic feel. So some projects that I might use it for are more farmhouse style items. So what I actually enjoyed using this yarn for is, once I got a feel for it, I wound up tripling the yarn up, so using 3 strands at a time, and jumping down to a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. Now you might be thinking, Mia, why on earth would you do this? And the reason is because I'm using this yarn to make a beautiful accented top of my crochet baskets that I will be selling at this craft fair that I have coming up. So by doing this technique, I was able to get this nice, natural, and rustic look at the top of my baskets. On these baskets, I do prefer to use their cream or their ecru colored yarn, but by doing this tripled up and going down a hook size, I get a stronger stitch definition, which is something I really seek in my crochet projects. All in all, I do think that this is a great yarn. I love that Lion Brand is pushing for some of that recycled, reusable aspect, which is something that I personally think, for one, is really marketable for us as the crafters and the makers to use this and then resell, but it's also better for the environment. So I am all for supporting this yarn. Although I will not use it for garments, I do think it has a place in pot holders, washcloths, and anything more rustic-y or farmhouse. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this yarn a 6. I think the reason I'm giving it a 6 is mostly because it reminds me a lot of Lily's Sugar and Cream, and that stuff hurts my hands, and this does something very similar. It's just got that tight feel that I'm not crazy about. I also don't think that this yarn is super versatile. I can't use it for garments. I don't want to use it on anything that's going to be touching my skin for a prolonged period of time. But I do think it's going to be very absorbent, and that slight abrasion can be helpful on washcloths, scrubbies, and even pot holders. If you enjoyed this yarn review, please leave a like and remember to subscribe to my channel. And if you have a yarn that you would like me to try and review for you, please post it in the comments down below. I hope you guys have a great day.